Hey everyone, we're back in London and today we're going to take you on a tour of the Westminster area.
We're going to start our day off by watching the changing of the guard ceremony. Now this happens in several different locations, but we're going to be going to Buckingham Palace, the main house in town.
The ceremony starts at 11, so it's about 10:30. So we're going to follow all of these people and make our way to get a good spot.
To get to Buckingham Palace, we got off at Green Park Station. It's on the Victoria line. And then from the station, we just walk 7-8 minutes across St. James's Park to Buckingham Palace. So we've sussed out a place. All we have to do is now wait for the ceremony.
This is probably one of the most popular things to do when you're in London. It draws a huge crowd, so it's about 30 minutes until the ceremony. I see some guys coming in on some horses, so I think the ceremony is on its way to start.
I am excited. We've been waiting here for nearly 20-25 minutes and we've just seen a bunch of horses and a Prius go by. So anticipation is building up. So the guards came, they did a little parade, and then they went inside Buckingham Palace. The changing of the guard ceremony has happened. It happened off screen because it happened inside and we couldn't get a view. But now the guards are coming out. It is 11:30, so the whole ceremony took around half an hour. The ceremony has finished and now people are leaving, and I think this is definitely more entertaining watching the police do crowd control on the people than the actual ceremony. We are now making our way from Buckingham Palace and we're going to walk down the Mall. The Mall is the main road that leads all the way up to Buckingham Palace. We've walked to the end of the mall and just behind us is Trafalgar Square. We're going to be walking through the arches and leaving the Buckingham area behind us. Unfortunately, we couldn't find a room to rent and Chloe couldn't meet the Queen, so it was short-lived.
Chloe is super disappointed. She had high hopes today. We've now made our way to Trafalgar Square. This is a bustling area. It has the National Gallery. It also has Nelson's Column and the Four Lions.
Right, we have firmly left Trafalgar Square behind us and now we're walking towards the Whitehall area. This is basically where the government of the UK is, and we're going to see some famous sites such as the Cenotaph and Downing Street.
Behind me is Whitehall, and these are governmental buildings.
One of the cool things about Whitehall is that you can enter the grounds and go through the arch, and that will take you directly to the Horse Guards Parade, and this is basically an open space where events happen. This is where the 2012 Beach Olympics happened, so that's where I recognize it from. Literally next door to Whitehall is Downing Street, and Downing Street is the office and personal residence of the British Prime Minister. It's basically the equivalent of the White House.
We're going to try to see if we can see the famous 10 Downing Street. Right when we came around the corner, I got my first glimpses of Big Ben. I've never seen it without the scaffolding, and it looks spectacular.
Right, we're going to walk across the river because there is a little photography spot opposite Big Ben on the south bank. I'd like to go check that out.
So as we're walking past Big Ben, we can also see the London Eye on our left. Yeah.
We only made it halfway onto Westminster Bridge before we turned around. It was just getting way too hot. Instead, we decided to explore Parliament Square and Westminster Abbey.
Yeah, in Parliament Square, there are several different statues, so we're going to go around and see which ones we recognize.
First statue, Churchill. Yep. No, this dude. Second statue,
David Lloyd George.
I think he's a composer. Or is that Andrew Lloyd Webber? I don't know, bro. We are currently just taking a little break in Parliament Square. Turns out we don't really know any of the statues except for Winston Churchill. I think there's a suffragette, one of the first suffragettes there, we're not entirely sure. And maybe a composer, but our knowledge of British history or British icons is not up to standard.
Didn't you go to school here?
Yeah, but you don't learn about Viscount Palmerston. So this area of Parliament Square is right in the heart of London. Over to my right side is Big Ben and the Parliament Houses, and then to my left is Westminster Abbey, and this is one of the most famous churches in all of England. It's where the Queen actually got coronated, so it's pretty cool, this little area.
We're just now leaving Westminster Abbey and we're heading down Victoria Street to go have some lunch.
Right, the place that we've chosen for our fish and chips is a restaurant called the Laughing Halibut, and it's located inside Strutton Ground, which is a 5-minute walk from Westminster. Strutton Ground Market is an outdoor market, and there are a bunch of little pop-up tents, and just from the end of the street I can see Greek food, some coffee. It looks pretty cool.
We have just placed our order. We're going to get cod and chips. They also have other types of fish besides cod. They have rock, they have plaice, they have halibut. So they have lots of different types.
So this is a pretty big moment for Holly. This is her first fish and chip in England.
And it came out so fast. We literally just ordered and it's already here. It's so crispy, flaky, not too greasy. I like the crunchiness of it.
Not really a big fish eater, but classic fish and chips, you can't go wrong with it. Normally the problem with fish and chips is that the batter is way too heavy. That is cooked perfectly. The batter is soft and crunchy. The fish is really good. We have absolutely demolished our fish and chips. That was a perfect size for 2 people. The total price was £12, I believe. Get your fish and chips at the Laughing Halibut. Man, that fish and chip was absolutely amazing. It was a pretty good end to the day.
Yeah, so we had a great time showing you around Westminster. Got to see a lot of iconic landmarks in London.